Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today, we're going to be doing another gaming chat about The Walking Dead Survivors, specifically the third season of the game that I'm currently playing. Um, so, a lot of comings and goings, war versus peace and stuff like that going on right now. Essentially, what's happened in the past, I don't know, 2 weeks or so, give or take, in this game, you've had. So, right now, you have basically five different regions facing off against each other. Like, obviously, the first season, it's your region fighting each other, is what it is. And then the second season, it's like your region versus three other regions. And then this third season is basically your region comes together as a coalition of like multiple groups and stuff like that. It's actually three main clans that come together as like one coalition is what it is, and then you basically fight four other regions that have the same kind of coalition is what it is. And so what happened was where I'm at in 409, you had 409, 404, 406, 407, and 415 all come together for this third season. And apparently 415 is a bunch of assholes, a bunch of pay to wins, a bunch of fucking, as they call them, whales and stuff like that. For the most part, people that are, okay, cool, I have a credit card. Let me go ahead and swipe it a bunch of times and throw a bunch of money down in this game and stuff like that, which, to me, it's whatever at that point. If that's what you want to do with your money, that's on you, man. Me personally, I can't afford to do that. So I'm going to sit here and be a free to play person. And I like doing that, honestly. And it sucks when you have, months invested into something and some dickhead is like, oh, I'm going to go spend like $2,000 or something like that, or however fucking much it is. I don't even know. $1,000, $2,000, something like that. A few $100s, something like that, anyway. And they're like, oh, we're gonna build up our troops and shit real quick and stuff like that, and just buy a bunch of speed ups and everything else like that to screw you over is what it is. And yeah, so basically for the past couple weeks now, you've had, well, actually, it's been since really the entire region, you know, was gonna be starting up like a few weeks back now, and then essentially throughout this entire time, you basically had the people at 415 be like, oh, well, this is how things are gonna go, and they were sort of dictating stuff to the rest of us is what it was. And eventually we're like, trying to shit talk everybody and fuck around and basically essentially telling us like straight up be like, oh, we're just gonna be number one this go around. Everybody else is basically gonna, eat our dust more or less is what it is. And we're like, yeah, that's not gonna fucking happen, dude. And like the fact that you keep attacking us and fucking around with us and stuff like that, like we're gonna come together now is what it is. And so I'm gonna read a statement here, which is about 22 hours or so right now for them to respond to. This was not me making this statement. Obviously, this was basically the clan leaders and region chiefs of 409, 406, 407, and to a lesser extent 404 because they're not really part of the actual trio, is what it is. But you can basically say that's a quartet now at this point. And from my understanding, what's basically going to happen is, at least from what I was reading here and stuff like that, it looks like what we're going to try to do is basically have the trio of groups that came together now as one essentially take the top three slots in this current region for the season for the rewards and stuff like that, which is how it should be anyway. And it'll be nice if that happens too, because where we are at right now, technically speaking, for my region, we're actually third currently by just a teeny little bit, is what it is. And yeah, everybody else is basically slightly lower than us or slightly above us is what it is by like 1,000, give or take. Prosperity is what it is. But yeah, currently, if we remain where we're at right now, we will end up with basically this cool last set of rewards when it's all said and done. And of course, people just doing stuff that is now popping up in the feed. But yeah, well, that cool set of rewards, which is basically you get a cool avatar thingy. You get 50 Negan fragments, which is good because that's the only way you can actually make Negan happen in this whole thing, and also to level him up and stuff like that to his star ratings and stuff like that because it's like 1 to 5 stars. 60 universal fragments, 60 long range missions, which are good because you can also, like, out of 10, it's like every 10 of those you either get an epic or a legendary, which mostly is always epics for me, it seems like, anymore. But yeah, you basically get a guaranteed thing out of at least 10 of those. 24 keys, which are obviously used for vehicle stuff and whatnot. 12 million bullets, 24 million veggies and water each, and then 18 million lumber and 12 million wood. Or sorry, not wood. 18 million lumber and 12 million meat. Obviously, lumber and wood are the same exact thing. And then anybody that's under third basically does not get the Negan fragments, they just get other stuff, is what it is. And then it's like 6 to 10 get something else entirely in that. So, which is funny that they even have the 6 to 10 things because you only have 5 actual coalitions in this fucking thing. So it's basically like 1 to 5 rewards, unless they're going to be like, okay, you're also getting like 6 to 10. Go through everything like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically again. But yeah, so basically, we're currently, like I said, third. So we get the third rewards of the 50 Negan fragments, everything else like that. And then what was said today specifically, that I'm going to go ahead and read this right now. This was a statement that was laid out to 415 people a little bit ago here, which reads as follows. Says 415, this document clearly states the views of 406, 407, and 409, which is my current region, as it pertains to Season 3, overall behavior and season-ending rankings. This is our offer to you for peace, and this is a non-negotiable offer. To say we are disappointed, this is obviously, like I said, this is written by the region chiefs and the leadership and stuff like that of 406, 407, 409. Said to say that we are disappointed in this behavior of your players is an understatement, as we as a group do not believe in bullying others, and we as a group are unified, as we will not allow someone or someones to bully us. So while one player specifically bullied over 700 people, that being the person that's known as Anakin / Death Star, your other players taunted us in battle chat, made jokes about 406, 407, and 409, will be ruined, sent direct messages to us attempting to scare us into being zeroed, which basically is your town being destroyed and you have no troops at all, anything like that is what it is. And overall treated us with disrespect and arrogance. This experience forced our collective groups to operate as one unit, and for the rest of the season, this bond will not be broken, which is the rest of the season is till I believe March 3rd or 4th, if I'm not mistaken, so it's over a month from now. So we got about 4.5 to 5 weeks right now that we're going to be that way. Says any further form of aggression by 415, whether through actions or threats, being zero will be met with swift responses. Before stating our terms, let us be clear, we are more than prepared to fight and defend our rightful claim, which would be, obviously, I'm guessing, claim of actually being powerful, and then also the same way of things, it being a secondary claim of, hey, all regions in this season region have the right to actually go for the last comm right now, which is the C-15 is what it is. And they're not wrong, honestly. Not that any of us respectively can take it as what it is. Well, at least not my region anyway, because people like me exist and it is what it is, and we ain't gonna pay to win is what it is. So we don't have the power to actually take down the shit that needs to be taken out of it is what it is, all the walkers that are sitting at the comm itself. But again, that doesn't mean that, 406, 407, one of those ones couldn't take it at this point, or even 404 for that matter. But I think it's going to be either 406, 407 that's going to actually possibly take it at the end of the day is what it would be then. So I have no idea which one it would be. Maybe I think we're going to switch off depending on who takes it actually is what it is throughout the rest of the season then. Whenever it gets taken here in the next week or so, whenever it pops, because that's the thing. You have a shield currently sitting around it that basically Has a countdown clock on it right now, which I think is about 5.5 days or something like that left on it right now, somewhere in there. It'd be sometime next week is when it actually will drop, and you can finally achieve it because it's like a rank goal or shit like that's what it is. So anyway, uh, continuing on with this though, it says, since your player and server was the one who pushed us to this point, we have made plans and commitments to our people, which will not be broken because now, after the fact, you guys want peace, which is true. It's interesting that now that you've had them basically fuck around and find out for the last, few days to a week or so that we as a collective aren't going to put up with their shit anymore. They're scared now because they're realizing like, yeah, we thought we could basically bully like 300 plus people around through multiple fucking regions. Actually, no, it's more than that because it's like 300 per coalition. So it'd be like, 700, 900 people, something like that. And it's like, bro, you realize real quick that you got a bunch of pay to win people there and they ain't fucking putting up with your shit. Is what it is, dude. So anyway, but yeah, it's just funny. But yeah, as he continues on, said, yeah, so before we state our terms, let us be clear, we are more than prepared to fight, defend our rightful claim. Since your player and server was the one to push us to this point, we have made plans and commitments to our people, which will not be broken because now after the fact, you want peace. We put our people on the line to fight at C15, and it wasn't until our success that you came to us with a desire of peace now. We feel collectively our desire for peace was taken by 415 as a sign of weakness, and we will not be misunderstood about that again. And that's what it was basically. This was the thing we had to begin with in this season region, like because obviously what happens is it's like a week or so before it, you basically have a room open for all the different regions that are going to be part of the season. Is what it is. Their collective leadership to come together and be like, hey, you can actually do like terms and stuff like that. You guys want to set the shit up? It's like, okay, we're gonna have all out war throughout the next 60 90 days, whatever the hell it's going to be for that season. Or it's going to be, hey, we can actually have like peace and prosperity and stuff like that for everybody, and we can actually do better because we're going to be continuing to go on in other seasons and stuff after this. We might actually be part of the next season together for all we know, and if it's better to have like alliances now kind of thing and have shit set up for the next time around, because God forbid we go up against an even stronger region or something like that we'd have to fight as a collective then if that be the case. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens though. But yeah, so, and I think that's the problem with 415 is what it was. They were like, okay, you have this whole thing going on right now where it's like, oh, you guys all want peace. That's cool, but we're going to take this stuff for ourselves or whatever it is. And in reality, it's like, nah, bro, we were basically telling them straight up, we're like, we want peace for the betterment of everybody at that point, dude. Like, we don't really care, like, what the fuck happens here. It could be whatever at that point, whoever takes whatever then. But we just don't want people being zeroed, and we want to have an actual set of rules in place is what it was, which is what we had at the time. We had an actual, it's like non-aggressive player or something like that is what it's called. It's called NAP thing or whatever. And that's what it was about. It was about that kind of thing. And you had them basically realizing like, hey, you're going to do some stuff. You're going to fuck around and stuff like that. Like, it's not going to be good for you. And that's essentially what we're having put out right now. So the terms that were set out here, you basically have the main chick from 415 being removed from leadership role. You have the 415 region retain their current comms and stuff like that of the 11s and 12s they have, and then the other three of us, 406, 47, 409, take over their 13s and 14s is what it is for the rest of the season. And there's also some other stuff here as well. 415 would finish in the last place of 5th instead of being in first or second or whatever now. And you would essentially have, if they're gonna fuck around with us, we're gonna fuck around with them kind of thing. So, but yeah, we have they have like 20-ish hours to come back to us with stuff. Otherwise, we're basically gonna wreck their shit is what it is. So it's interesting. Um, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. See if they actually, you know, do stuff or not. And if not, it'll basically become war. It'll continue to be war. Otherwise, we'll have peace and prosperity for the rest of the season, hopefully. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens, though. I hope that basically they'll accept the terms and just be like, okay, cool, we're fine with that, whatever. Because the thing is, it's like we're already making moves at this point. Like we have done stuff as many regions right now, and we're already going after their comms right now. So it's basically they let us have them, or they continue to fuck around, and they're going to be finding out real quick what it is. So anyway, that's pretty much it, though. The game is fun, and it can be kind of distracting though sometimes because it's just the whole thing is what it is. But yeah, other than that, that's where we're at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you all in the next one.